Hello, and welcome to my UDL +1 solutions story, Brainstorming Representation. My name is Shannon Strate. I'm an occupational therapist and assistant professor in the OTD department here at Johnson & Wales. So first, let's talk about the barriers that I have identified within my neuroscience course. This course has always run a little heavy in summative assessments, just general nature of the course with question and answers type of thing. It has very lecture heavy type material, which is always difficult to engage students, keep them, happy and excited into the learning material. And there's a lot of PowerPoints, handouts, a lot of information to digest. So in analyzing what's currently happening and what I feel like I'm doing well, looking at the 3 guidelines, I feel that I am hitting all 3 of the checkpoints under guideline 1, which is perception. I feel there's a lot of good visuals, auditory representations, alternatives. One thing that I just think is innate to the occupational therapy part of me. In guideline 2, language and symbols, checkpoint 2.1 and 2.3, clarifying vocabulary and symbols and supporting decoding of text and symbols. I also feel this is a strength as I try to provide different ways of breaking down material, breaking down vocabulary. Due to some of the medical terminology, it can be overwhelming and difficult to understand. And guideline 3, comprehension, checkpoint 3.1, 2, and 3, summarizing, that guiding information, processing, and the visualization part. The chunking information is something that as an OT, we are always breaking things down. And I think that's something that I do in my classroom situation frequently. So what are my learning barriers? Certainly, as I've mentioned, the learning materials and the assessments, I think, are 2 areas that are challenging within this class. So looking at the checkpoints in areas that I can make some changes, I have chosen to focus on under comprehension 3.2, highlighting patterns, critical features, big ideas, and relationships, and language and symbols, that's checkpoint 2.2, clarifying syntax and structure. So combining those together, I really like the idea of looking at this larger idea, coming up with this concept of graphing and mind mapping, right? So that it can help the students to build from their knowledge, see the connections visually, help them to see what's working, and when there's dysfunction, where that concern lies. And so this is something that I'm going to be introducing into my class and, help them see what's those key elements, what's the things that they really need to have stand out. And here's an example of, what are the graphic or mind maps that I'm going to start using. Really looking at like the black box as here's some information, green box is what's working well in that system, the red box is the areas of dysfunction and what we'd see breaking down in the system. So it's more kind of jumping out at them, good color coded system. In reflecting on why I feel this will be beneficial to my students, how I think they'll respond. I love a good multimodal learning classroom. And as much as I don't want to overwhelm my students with too much, I feel this additional tool will really be helpful for learning and giving that visual learner that extra tool to make those connections on paper. Writing, I feel like, is a big, kinesthetic feedback that will help with the learning piece as well. And then my ultimate goal is to help with that generalization of information from what we learned this week in class to applying it to the larger systems as a whole, and then carrying it on to future classes and their profession. Thank you and have a great day.